Let me get my phone out the way so we can get ready to do our thing.
Can I clear my throat?
Why do you clear like you're being shady though? Gosh.
Normally when I make that noise, it's someone said something very disrespectful.
Exactly.
Or it's like, or something's out of pocket. Like, really?
I ain't no idol, I'm a lighthouse, I set everybody free.
Hi guys, it's KAYCOLA.
It's Marcel.
Oh, listen, I
You
gotta
are
get back in the room.
tripping.
Listen, y'all.
We have our special guest.
Real
I didn't know if it was.
I didn't want to get in the way of the introduction.
Who are you?
Nigga.
I'm Bill today.
Bill.
No, listen, I'm
He was
Pharaoh.
John last time.
I'm Pharaoh, guys.
Oh, and we are Who Hurt You.
Yeah.
Oh god.
And we have a special guest. Do you like to go by BJ or Brian or?
You know, at this point, everyone just calls me what they want to call me, and I'm
What?
like, B, Brian, Jr. whatever.
Junior.
What do you want to be called today?
Today, I guess Brian will work.
Hey, Ryan. Welcome. Sure.
And we are talking about, what are we talking about today? Friends. How many of us have them?
Friends.
Ones you can depend on.
Friends. Or the other version. They always. I don't even know that damn song. I've never watched that show. I can't get into that show.
What show?
Friends.
Oh, Friends.
Me neither.
I love
I
Fresh
watched
Friends.
Friends.
I can't. I'm
I
black.
like Friends.
I like girlfriends.
I couldn't do Friends, Seinfeld.
Right?
I can't do
Seinfeld?
Seinfeld.
No
No, I
Seinfeld.
can't do Seinfeld.
There's no culture.
Like as soon as I hear bang 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 turn,
Right? It's just
That
bland. Like it's like when it'd be like when you ask for seasoning, they just give you salt and pepper.
Yeah,
so
like-
I can't do it.
turn.
Salt Bay.
See,
Not even that. You just get a dash of salt.
Salt Bay. So we're talking about friends. We're talking about why females can't be friends with females or have a hard time, and why men have a hard time being friends with men. And the reason I want to talk about this topic is because I be getting chastised because I have a lot of male friends. But the reason I have male friends is not because I don't want to be friends with females. It's because females be giving me the blues. And we've talked about it before too.
Yes.
You prefer to be friends with females.
Me too.
Yes.
You too?
Definitely.
I just prefer to be friends with people who are similar, so that way we can eliminate conflict.
I agree with that as well.
I agree with that.
I only hang out with pretty bitches. Period.
Yeah, because he's a pretty bitch, clearly.
He set us up for that home run. He set us up right there.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, well, you know, in regards to my personal preference to hang out with women is because I feel safer with women, and I mean safer in this category. I feel like I don't have to potentially catch an A1 felony hanging with
Oh
women.
wow.
That's how I feel.
What's an A1 fella?
Murder. Murder. He understands.
Oh.
Yeah. I feel like I don't know how to kill one of my female friends. And then one thing I've learned about females, you know, females don't get jealous. Like he could come in here and say he won the lotto, right? Now me personally, I'm be like, cool. I don't expect congratulations, but that's not the case with dudes. Dudes get envious, jealous, especially if they around you and they watching you be successful in front of their face every day.
Oh, yeah.
Like you could be in the studio with your niggas every day, but as soon as one of your songs actually hit, you got to knock one of their heads off. So I feel like as far as me hanging with females, I do that because I appreciate life, because I value life now. Before I didn't used to, so I hung with niggas who didn't value life. But now that I actually want to appreciate life, I'd rather hang around females because the problems that I get from a female is going to be way less in value than I got to deal with a dude. A dude, I'm going to jail playing with you or hanging with you, especially if I'm trying to be successful. You know what I'm saying? So I'd rather deal with females, not just, you know, not saying not even on the intellectual, but just on a
Day to day.
just on a emotional security tip. I prefer to hang around females.
What about
Me too. Definitely.
successful, hang around other successful men?
It depends though, because I know successful men that don't mess with me because they feel like I'm gonna take their shine,
Yeah.
or I know other
Exactly.
successful men that don't mess with me because they feel like I would supersede them in a way because I'm successful, but I'm successful intellectually.
I get you.
So I really can't hang around certain people because they like you couldn't put me and somebody like Bow Wow
Why?
together.
Yeah, I get it though.
Because after a while,
He's petty.
after I'm not, no disrespect to Bow Wow, but I'm proving the point.
Yeah.
Our values in life is so different that it's gonna show. After a while, somebody gonna start saying, you immature as hell. Nigga. It ain't gonna be me, you know what I'm saying? Or after a while, somebody gonna start saying, you on some little kid shit, and you have a good innovative mind. So if I hung with somebody that was successful, it would have to be somebody like Akon. It would have to be somebody. You can't just put me with a nigga. Like, that's not gonna work. You don't just throw me with a nigga and be like, we got Young Pharaoh coming out with Young Thug. Like, that shit don't mix. You don't mix them two. So once again, I'm like my little lane I'm in.
You know what we say to that? Fuck those niggas.
What about you? I mean, just a little background. Like, you grew up in LA, right?
I grew up in LA.
Yeah, he grew up in LA.
Really
he's an amazing singer. But you grew up in I would say you grew up in Hollywood life.
Yeah. So I definitely, when it comes to hanging out with other successful men,
right,
it definitely has to be someone that I myself personally look up to, for me to be able to cohabitate with that type of a guy. Because like you said, a lot of guys really aren't even willing to let certain dudes in their circle that they feel threatened by.
Right.
You know, and especially in music. I'm like, there have been so many times where I've been asked to do studio sessions, and you know, whoever artist it is will recognize that I'm not here to play a game. And you can immediately feel the shift in energy, like, you know, the looks and just the jealousy and like literal animosity people feel, like you said, from being successful. But there's so much more to that success mindset, I think, because you can be successful just being happy today.
Yes.
And so it'll be like,
this about to be real good. It's about to be real good. He ain't playing.
And for me, I like I said earlier, being like a fly on the wall. I feel like I'm pretty much a people person with both sides. I definitely enjoy hanging out with women more because I feel like I learn so much more from them than I can from, especially a lot of the men my age of this generation.
I agree.
Yeah.
Like, there's never a time where, I have my core group of boys, like, we've been down since middle school, but it's 3 of us.
Okay.
And they're like my brothers. I don't really have male homies that I can just, let's go to the bar, or let's go hoop. You know, if I hang out, I'm 9 times out of 10, I'm probably with one of my female friends.
Right.
And she's usually giving me game.
Yeah.
And I appreciate that so much from growing up with women, man. Like, my mama, my aunties, and my female cousins really opened up my mind to not just what women go through, but just how insightful they are when it comes to emotions.
I agree
You
with
know
that.
what's so funny is, I wonder why women are so, because I don't get that. Like, the reason I like to hang out with men is because I actually learn from you guys. Like, men teach me so much, whether it's like about myself or it's about other men. I love to learn. I'm a woman, so I feel like I got the woman thing down, you know?
Right.
But I love to learn about you guys because I have no fucking idea what it's like to be a man. So when I'm around other men, I learn so much. And like, when I'm with my girls, basically they just like to gossip or talk shit about the next girl, or talk about what man they're sleeping with, or niggas ain't shit, or and it's like
something confrontational or conflictual.
Yes, or they're trying to drain me of all of my knowledge.
But dudes do the same thing. That's why I'm trying to tell you, like, it's not, like you be in a room full of dudes, and the only thing you gonna hear is it's gonna be something along one of these lines, either, man, that nigga, I'll beat that nigga, or I'll rob that nigga, or that nigga can't rap. Like, niggas do the same thing, just more masculine. Like, females might be like, did you see her eyebrows? Girl. But a dude would be like, you see that chain? Man, that shit ain't real.
Very true.
Man, you wanna... So it's not different. It's just the polluted mind states gathering together. And then you have more polluted minds than you have unpolluted minds. So the unpolluted minds, like, I'm from Buffalo. He from here. So we couldn't even be friends like that if we wanted to.
Right.
So he got to create his safe space here, and I got to create my safe space there. So it's just to the point where it's like, we recognize toxicity and we do our best to disassociate.
Okay.
So, you know, our community does not promote hood after the word sister or brother. It just promote competitive after that. So it's like, you gotta really escape your own gender and race in order to be safe. It's like, that's why, like, it ain't no, coming together would be the most tragic shit you could do. Like people be like, yo, black men need to come together. Like, yeah, if you want a fucking 50 homicides, you know what I'm saying? Like, black women need to come together. Like, yeah, if you want wigs and weaves and nails and fights in the street. It's like, no, you gotta like.
Not wigs and weaves.
I think, man, you gotta evaluate people mentally and put them over there and you go over here.
That's interesting because it's like a lot of my relationships, now that I look back at it, a lot of my really close friends have been female.
Right.
But that's because I've been able to relate to them more than actual like hyper-masculine men.
Right.
However, now in my adult life, I go back and forth because at the end of the day, I realistically base my friendships on, are you going to be someone that is going to be beneficial to my life? And are we going to be able to learn and grow together? Like, I don't understand people who have friendships that are competition based because at the end of the day, the only competition is myself. So I'm not basing my life off of someone else's. If I've ever been in that situation where I felt like that about someone, I have removed myself from the situation.
And that's right.
Oh yeah.
That's right. And it's come down to what people understand a friend is.
Yeah.
Some people are so parasitic that they see those that they expect those qualities in you. So it's like this is a friend to some people. A friend to some people is, I did some dumb shit, but I should be able to call you to make up for the dumb shit I did. Like it's 2 in the morning and I got drunk and I locked myself out being irresponsible, but I expect you to drive 30, 40 minutes to my house to come get me and let me sleep on your couch and bring me back when I need to come back. So basically, I call it the Jesus Christ effect. Like, you gotta sacrifice yourself for my sins. That's not a friend though, that's a crash dummy.
Yeah.
Like, a friend is somebody who genuinely wanna see you. Like, I'm the type of dude, if you come in here and you got a big chain, the first thing that on my mind is not gonna be, I'll take that, or how much you paid for that. It's gonna be like, oh bro, icy. Like, I want to see, I want to see girls on my man. You know what I'm saying? I want to see my man eating. Like, I'm not, like I'm not an evil person, but people is haters like that. You know what I'm
It's funny because it's like, I've always said it's like in LA especially, the way you can tell someone's really your friend, there's 3 ways for me. Calling someone after 12 o'clock if they answer the phone. They're a real one.
I promise you, I'm asleep. So
that's what I'm saying. Like, if they answer the phone, they're a real one because they can be like, "Oh, are you okay? Is there something wrong? Can I help you with something?" Boom. Second one, ask someone to take you to the airport.
That's hilarious.
Ask someone to take you to LAX. If they are down, that's a friend. That's a real friend. That third one is ask them to help you move.
That's right. I agree with that.
Literally.
I would say the helping you move one. I would also say if you can't do anything for them. Because and I don't mean in the sense, like, I do feel that friendship should be fruitful and, like you said, beneficial in growth terms, but I mean in the sense of, like, I used to have people who were my friends, like my girlfriends, because I could get them into the club. We could walk straight through. Or, you know, even now with my business, it's like, oh, can you put me on? Like, what? And
can I benefit off you?
Yeah, and then if they don't, then it's like, oh, we're not really friends.
Yeah.
Or
I had a situation like that.
One of the things I do to test people that I learned, and I learned this like back in the day when I was doing hood rat things. Give a person good news and see how interested they are, and then give them bad news.
That's really
like I might be like, yo, I just got a job offer, man. What you think about this? And I'll be lying.
Yeah.
But if you don't be like, man, I think you should do. But if I say, man, my girl was cheating, what you think? Word. Woo! Like, if you more interested in negative things in my life, and you not at least equally interested in good things, then you're not my friend.
That too, but also there's levels to that as well as friendships. That just means that they're not that type of friend to you. That's more of an acquaintance, and I think we always throw that word around and we mix the word acquaintance into friends. Because there's a very thin line between the two. Because at the end of the day, a friend should be someone that is there to want to help you and support you and watch you do good and grow.
Right.
So the fact of the matter is
and be honest with you.
Yeah, and be honest, because I like literally through my transition in life, I was a fucking mess back in the day. And legit, I would look at myself like, why are you still here? And why are you still friends with me at this stage of my life? And people that were still in my life now, they were like, because at the end of the day, regardless of whatever you were doing or how you're perceiving yourself, I saw who you were going to turn into and who you are now.
That's great.
People that
and that's when you have a lifelong friendship.
Yeah.
So that's where I look at levels of friendships. Because as a person who had to make friends their family, I've always held my friendships very like valuable and like up on a pedestal type of situation.
So, and I love that you said that too, man. Having to make friends your family. because that changed the dynamic as well. Because then that honestly takes them out of the friends category too.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And the acquaintance thing I think is huge because especially now with social media.
Oh, social media.
People, you can hang out with someone one time, but now that you guys are social media friends and you're
you're
doing
besties.
this, you're best friends.
Clout-
Oh, I
clout
know
chasing.
you.
Right.
But it's like, oh, we ain't been through nothing.
Yeah.
And you expect
Yeah. And I wouldn't call you if I was going through
Right,
something.
it's
Right.
right.
And
We don't
we are
wanna-
cool.
That's another way to see if someone's your friend, like going through actual things,
Mhm.
or
Oh,
like,
yeah.
for example, like the things that I went through last year with like being extremely depressed and blah blah. Like you'll see who is with you, like when you're depressed and when you're going through it. If they genuinely care, or if they're like trying to get information out of you because they want to like revel in the fact that you're
Yeah.
down. And then the people who, like you said, applaud when you're happy, or if they're secretly like,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
I wanted to ask you, what does healthy friendship between males look like for you? Like, what are you and
for
your
me,
boys? What is
like, so consider me and my best guy friend, like
Yeah.
my man Tommy. That's my ace, and it's because I've never had someone other than my brother really have my back.
Yeah.
And to attest to what you said too, like 18 to 26-year-old me
Yeah.
was a thunderstorm.
Oh.
You know what I mean? And I mean going through what I went through with my
Yeah.
dad and touring and women, making money, losing money. He, my boy was the guy that always kept it real with me for one, and just made sure I was good. I
Yeah.
think
Yeah.
us as men, we get lost in like all the things you were saying, man. Some dudes just can't handle connecting with another guy on a level other than the exterior, other than what you're wearing, what's in your pocket,
Sports.
driving,
Dumb
sports,
shit.
women. But when it's time, like if I hit you up and I'm like, man, I'm hurting right now, like I need help. I think that is what my definition of a healthy guy friendship is.
Yeah.
If I can call you and bare my soul and you give me an honest opinion, you don't belittle me,
Right.
but if I'm fucking up, you tell me I'm fucking up.
Yeah.
You know, and don't
That accountability.
Accountability.
I think that's
That's
a
what-
huge thing in friendships.
That's
like
what we say.
being accountable.
And being emotionally present.
And
That's what
present.
we not taught that.
Present.
Like a nigga won't even a nigga won't even hug you. You know what I'm saying? Like you
Yeah.
could be crying, nigga be like, yo,
It'll
you
just
up.
tap, yeah.
Yeah, like you gotta hug your nigga like nigga
Yeah,
you good,
just get
nigga
in
like
there, man.
but that don't happen like that
Yeah.
we don't even teach that. That's
And
like
I'm that guy. Like I'm
Yeah.
the dude that will. Like
Yeah.
I'm a nurturer. You know, like
Yeah.
my mom. I will console. Like I'm gonna throw that arm around you, man. I'll cry with you.
Yeah.
And I attribute that honestly a lot to growing up with women. Again,
Yeah.
to be honest,
it's a balance though.
Yeah.
It
Like
is.
even when people be like I like my son, right? If my son fall, I don't just be like, get up and script that shit off.
Right.
Like I be like, let me see it. Let me get because it's like, why do we gotta teach men to be
harsh.
robotic?
Yeah.
Yeah, like he gonna grow up and be a man anyway, and as a man he gonna have natural strength. It doesn't matter. So it's like, why not as a child love on your child? So it's like, why do we teach each other we gotta be cardboard boxes to the point where we don't know how to
But you know
I'm
what?
the same
though?
way,
Yeah.
man.
With that even being said, sometimes a lot of people just don't know any better. So that's when you have to take yourself out of the situation and look back at the bigger picture. Because the really big lesson that I had to learn in my lifetime, especially with my adulthood friendships, is the people that have hurt me the most are people that I've done the most for and have been there the most for.
Woo!
And treated them like family and put them on such high pedestals.
Yep.
Yep.
And those are the people that broke my heart the most.
Yeah.
And with that being said, I had to learn another lesson. Just because you call someone your friend doesn't mean they're calling you theirs.
That's
Somebody
right.
recently told me
Period.
that you have a lot of people with you, but you don't have a lot of people who are for you.
Very true.
And there's a difference between just having people who are around and
Oh,
they
yeah.
say they're your friends and things like that, but when shit really hits the fan,
Oh, yeah.
you know. And for me, I think that it's so important to have the balance between the masculine and the feminine.
Got to.
And that's why I like to, and I gravitate towards having male friendships, even though I do enjoy feminine energy. The feminine energy that I've encountered has just been so fake
Okay.
towards
Yes.
me.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, it's so fake. And
But do you-
I think it's because women are put in competition with one another due to, you know, first of all, they're, you know, the statistics between the amount of women that are on the planet and men is like ridiculous. So we feel like we have to compete for a man. And then you have the media that's always pitting us against one another.
Yep.
And it's like, you being beautiful does not make me ugly. Like, I'm not,
right.
And the man who is for me is not gonna want you. Like, if my man wants you, that means he's not my man. I don't want him. So I think women need to start realizing that like what's for us is for us, and stop thinking that somebody else's blessing is going to
block yours.
Yes.
And that's the same thing coming back to what he said with the music, because that's how I feel. I'm like, okay, if you, why you don't want to do a feature with me? Like, I'm gonna stop your career. If you popping, you popping.
Right.
The people that like, the worst that's gonna happen is somebody gonna say, who's that dude you had singing? Exactly. We like him too.
Yeah.
Right.
But they're not gonna stop jacking me. And I'm the type of person where I'm like, listen, if you come on here and you make this song go, we could do a whole dual album.
That's
We could do a whole dual, like, so it's like people don't think like that. They just, everybody want to be the quarterback, but then they don't even want you to be the receiver. So I think what you gonna scramble everything?
I think a lot of it has to do with people with fear, man. Fear of losing their moment or it not lasting as long as they want. So God forbid, I'm gonna let you come and steal some of my shine because I ain't gonna have none yet.
Yeah,
and it's crazy.
When it's like you're not gonna have shine forever anyway.
But it's not even that. Everyone shines differently in their own light. So with that being said, that's why I interject where like I typically now, if I have friends, it's like we all have similarities. So like, if you get a lot of attention, don't hang out with someone who does not get attention because that's just going to cause conflict.
But that sucks.
But it's true.
That sucks because you can have like great chemistry with that person and you can like their company.
Okay,
so now
I would say don't put them in a position where they got to deal with a lot of
That's what I'm saying.
Right.
Be more inclusive and just like kick it at the house type of situation.
That's why famous people, I feel like, don't really have real friends because it's like, how are you ever supposed to have anybody around?
Because you have yes people.
Yeah.
If you, and I don't want that. Right. I don't like yes people. I want people to tell me like, what
I ain't gonna lie though, I'm good with no friends.
Yeah.
I'm good. Like
I don't need that.
Cause I coach I'm like 3 different people in my. I'm like split. I be sad and I turn into Patricia and be like, nigga, get happy, nigga. And then I turn into that little boy and be like, nigga, what you sad about? I be in my house like split. I don't need no. I got 15 motherfucking friends in here.
We all talking.
Yeah. So
I agree.
I agree
with that too.
Yeah. People are very. One thing I just learned about the world is sometimes this worked for me, right? Mm-hmm. I always tell myself the like, we know that humans need other humans and all of that crap psychologically. You know, you put some out, but it's school to all of that. The first person to ever give mental advice was to they self. Mm-hmm. Who created the practice of psychology or psychiatry? So a nigga that said, I need some mental health. You know what I'm saying? So what the fuck, I'm like, what would I do? You know what I'm saying? It's like, if I was hungry, I wouldn't depend on nobody to cook, because the first person ever on the planet that was hungry was like, I'm about to cook some shit. They didn't hire a chef. They had to create the whole field of shit. So that's what I feel comfort in.
Yeah.
Like, whenever, exactly. Like, whenever I feel like, damn, I need something. And I said, what did the first person who ever needed this did? They provided it for themselves. Yeah. So I kind of be all right. Only thing about having friends, so to speak, is being able to share certain accomplishments.
Very true. Mm-hmm.
But then, oh well, like I got to the point where that I'm like, oh well, you know what I'm saying? Like sometimes I do want to be like, yo, I learned this. Did you know that? But I don't have nobody to have this conversation with.
Right. But you know what though? Go ahead. There's nothing wrong with that as well, but we should not be not open to making new friends along the way, because I feel like everyone at this moment in our life, we've been through so many different situations that have taught you signs, that have showed you people's insights, and have made you even look at your character and how you judge people. Oh, yeah. So I don't think that we should just say like, moving forward, we should not just exit. We don't need friends, because we all do need that like communication and that like contact. It's just move differently. Yeah, move smarter.
Go ahead, bro. You do. I'm about to say peep game, right? Because what you just said is important, but now we gotta touch on the old town road real quick. We gotta get spicy, right? Most people are considered they close friends the most toxic people in their life.
That is
so now peep game, right?
Okay.
Boom. People, I'll say this all the time. People psychologically don't be in the present time. So you got people running around with like 1750s mentalities in 2019. Like for example, right? Boom. I am a straight male.
Okay.
You are not a straight male.
Mhm.
But we don't get inappropriate.
Yeah.
We could be genuinely friends. But we live in a world right now where that's not acceptable.
Very true.
But it's acceptable if I ain't gonna say nothing crazy, but it's acceptable if I go back to Buffalo and go to them neighborhoods and I hang with this nigga and he got 2 pistols and this nigga selling that's cool. Even though they're completely toxic to me, even though I can't have an intelligent conversation with these niggas, even though I might get shot just standing next to one of these niggas because I didn't know he did some shit yesterday and they came to kill him today.
Yeah.
So it's like the world promotes self-destructional friendships. I could hang around a toxic uncle, a toxic mom, a toxic sister, and excuse their toxicity all in the names of, well, that's my sister and we're gonna be forever blood.
Right.
Even though you over here fucking my house up or you creating problems. But if I was to say, you know what? I like Marcel's train of thought. Sexually, we have 2 different preferences. But when it comes to certain things like cleaning up after ourselves, hygiene, being truthful, we could be friends on it. The world will shit on that.
Yeah.
And so now it's to the point where when we talking about friends, the world has an obligation to reestablish what a healthy friendship is. A healthy friendship is not a motherfucker you grew up with.
Right.
It's not somebody you genetically with.
Day one.
A healthy friendship is somebody who keeps you mentally healthy.
Yes,
Period.
and
Period.
that even goes to say with
Period.
like our friendship, it's like we were on an Insta story yesterday and they're like, oh yeah, friend. And I'm like, why does it always have to be that? Like, he's literally has been healthier for me than most of my homegirls of my entire life.
Right.
So it's like,
Pun intended.
and
Nah, I'm just fun.
why does it have to be that like just because he's a male that it's friend?
Because they're not mentally healthy, and
And they
they're
jealous.
they projecting.
They don't get
That's because all of the females or the males that saying that they smashing their friends.
Exactly.
They
Very true.
cheating
And
with
they
their
don't
friends.
want to hear that.
Yeah, so they projecting it
Straight
on
up.
us. You know what I'm saying?
The whole we play that whole what kills me, man, honestly, that's what I'm glad we're talking about this is people love throwing that that's just my bro or that's just my sis
Or cousin.
and I'm just like, y'all aren't related. First of all, but you're trying to like, I don't know, put this facade out there to make everyone assume that you're not what you actually are. And you're fucking most of the time.
And just say
Which
that.
is why people automatically like,
Assume.
and it goes with me all the time. And
Yeah.
granted, my reputation is known for having women, and people always just assume, especially because of who I am, that there's no way you just took her to dinner and you didn't go home with her.
Right.
There's no way you could just go to the beach with those girls and y'all ain't doing nothing.
Right.
It's like, you're you.
Yep.
You know, and I'd just be like, how
Same.
demeaning and degrading is that to me as a man?
Yeah.
That
say
you
that I don't have a
that
connection.
every single person that you know.
Everyone.
Yes.
And, you know, even being in the music industry, man, you work with people and immediately one picture goes up, like you said, and it's just assumption after assumption.
Yep.
But it's like you said, man, what I have realized with how accelerated my life and my experiences have been as, you have to put yourself in the person's shoes that really is completely oblivious to what I would say is like the inside of things when it comes to especially this Hollywood shit out here in LA. Now we got this social influencer madness happening, a bunch of people that are just promoting being fake.
Right.
You know, and promoting having a bunch of fake people with you as long as y'all are getting money.
Right.
So now it's all cool to just pretend. And
Right.
I'm like the
Fictitious.
last person to do that.
That's
And I
right.
will call it out.
Yeah.
So people know not to invite me to certain things.
Functions, 'cause you ain't with the
I'm
function.
like, I'm not. I don't want to be fake, man. I love doing stuff like this. I'm all
Yeah.
about learning. I'm about
Yes.
progression. Yeah, we can kick it, we can shoot, smoke, but if there's nothing progressive
You
happening,
balance. You got a higher self too.
you know.
And people just want the lower self entertainment, but they don't want the higher. I feel you on that
But
one.
it's everything, man. It's media, it's music now, and again, I bring it all like social media is a double-edged sword for me. As an artist, I love it and it's definitely useful, but as just a normal, everyday, like black man,
Yeah. It's
seeing the influence it's having on these young kids
Yeah.
in terms of just teaching them the wrong way to just go about meeting people. I think what you were saying, man, about being open to still meeting people. I think if it's just that, if everyone is always approaching meeting people as we have to have a connection that lasts forever, whether it be friendships or relationships, you're immediately putting so much pressure on the chemistry you'll have with that person.
But I also think you have to call a spade and realize that in adult life, especially within these industries, like it's funny because it's like bringing up that topic, like me going back into fashion. It's like there's been a lot of people that fuck with me still, and a lot of people that haven't fucked with me. But when I go back into it, they'll start fucking with me again because I'll be valuable again.
Right. Exactly.
But you have to understand that that's just the way in the nature of the game.
So
that's just how it is. But you just move and think differently, type of situation.
Be open to connect. I think that's the beauty of it.
And then
in the
on
moment, like you said, be present.
And then on the flip side of that, it's hard for you to be friends with people you know because they don't take your business serious.
Man.
Like for example, if I knew him and he said, just do security, I'll be letting motherfuckers in. Because I feel like, well, the worst he gonna do is nothing because this my man. Versus if I didn't know him, you gonna bring the gavel.
Right.
So it's like, it's hard for you to really be friends with somebody when you trying to really do something else. I wouldn't go trying to open up an ice cream parlor.
Right.
Like, nigga, I asked you to scoop the ice cream. Why is you back here not scooping ice cream? So for me, it's like, a lot of people are just, I don't even want to say ungrateful. I don't say they just don't have no willpower to be in a better position than where they are. So it's like a lot of people want to be your friend, but you climbing the mountain and they just standing here.
Yes.
So it's like, what you want me to do? And then it's like, if I throw you the rope, you're not even climbing, you just hanging, and now I gotta move.
Or you're gonna try to pull me down.
So it's like, a lot of people, it's like, it's hard to be friends with the same sex, especially if you know them, because your ambition is not where mine is at.
Period.
And it's like, you can't, it's like if I was a boss, I would probably never hire my family.
No,
Because you don't even respect me enough for me to come in here and say, get to work.
Right.
Because they'd be like, look, who the fuck is
That's
you
what
coming
happened with
to?
my friends.
See?
Right.
That's
there
why.
was no respect. They were completely disrespectful, used,
Or they had it and they lost it.
Right.
It was like,
And if anything, they should look at you like, I'm grateful for the opportunity.
man, or hey, can you
For
be
extra-
a
Most people
mentor?
really just aren't professional.
Yeah.
But even if you're not professional, as long as you do like, you ain't gotta, if you're not good vernacularly, I ain't like answering no phones.
Right.
But I'm gonna put you somewhere where you can work. But it's like, people don't want to do the work, and then they don't want to respect your authority. Like, I respect business versus personal. Like, if you my man and we personal and we bullshit, I might be like, shut the fuck up, cut that music. But if I'm working for you, if you say, nigga, go in the back and get them boxes, I'm gonna get them boxes.
That's
Right.
very true.
So people don't know how to respect
Your
or
friend
separate
Or
business
Yes.
from personal.
And going back to what Brian said, it's a professional thing because it's like, for me, instance, I work with a friend.
Right.
But I've learned how to separate my business relationship and my friendship from my friend that I work
No.
with. So even when we've been in situations where things have happened and she apologizes, I'm like, you don't have to apologize. This is your business. This is how you would like it to be ran. Just let me know. Like,
That's
so
right.
I can move forward because it's your business.
That's right.
So, but that's a professional thing, and that's a what's it called? A mature thing.
Don't hire your friends. Take it from me, please. Like I've hired. I'll say a couple of the male friends that I've hired have done a good job. All the females just it's out of control. Like just taking advantage, disrespectful. But I would say just overall, if you can avoid it, then it's hard because it's like I wanted to help people. You know what I mean? But part of helping is not enabling.
Exactly.
I didn't hire my so-called.
huge.
That's right. I didn't hire my so-called friends. I have never been through as much business trauma
Yes.
that I've been through. I'm talking about shit like, listen, just show up from 3 to 8 and be the videographer. Nigga come in at 6:30.
Right.
What?
Like, nigga, you didn't miss 7 minutes.
Right.
Like, what? And then it's like,
And then they want the full payment.
yeah, and they want to give you an excuse like, I'm sorry, man, I woke up late. Like, you did what? Like, you acting like I said, come over and let's play 2K.
Right.
Like, this is a bit, so it's like, they don't, nothing. People have been, honestly, I gotta be honest, people have been bred to respect toxic dominance.
Mm-hmm.
So if a motherfucker don't feel like it's a sword over their head constantly, they don't act right on their own. Like for example, a person's not gonna not litter because they care about the environment. They gonna not litter because it's a police right here.
Right.
And if he white, they gonna extra not litter because they know he gonna go upside your head faster than any other police. That's just for real.
Right.
And so, with that being said, people don't respect they don't respect you giving them the free will to just act right.
Yeah.
It's kind of like how some females they need a nigga that's abusive. Cause they don't respect a nigga that just be like, excuse me, sweetheart, could you hand me that?
Right.
That's a weak nigga to them.
Right.
They only respect, bitch, you better get over there and get that mother. So it's just like people don't, like people, and I'm not, listen, I say some borderline things sometimes. And this is one of them borderline things.
Oh, Lord.
Sometimes I think like people say, well, why we don't got our own all-black police precinct?
Ooh.
I'm very thankful we don't have an all-black precinct. Because I honestly believe that if all of our friends and family became the police, oh my God. What? Could you imagine just a black person, a black woman, pulling up on a black man like, put your hands up. Nigga be like, bitch, you better get, like, what?
Right.
So something psychologically, whether you want to blame slavery or whatever, something psychologically that white people have beaten the black people saves niggas from becoming like Boko Haram in Africa or something. Because when you look at Africa, Africa is the way it is criminally because everybody know each other. Don't nobody respect nobody's shit.
Right.
But the fact that this white man live way over here and you don't know nothing about him except police brutality, I'm not saying it's okay, but something about that
Puts it in.
it make you say, okay, let me put my hands on the joint before I just, because if niggas was comfortable with all niggas and it was all black police, it'd be, listen, police assault on police officers would be at the highest it's ever been. Shot police would be at the highest it's ever been. High speed police chases, obstruct, all that shit would be at an all time high because it's a certain level of fear factor that wouldn't be present.
I agree to an extent because my grandfather was the chief of police for Los Angeles, so it's like I've grown up around police officers in my life, so I didn't have that issue with that being said. But I think it also goes to more of a respect thing within yourselves because if you don't respect yourself, how are you going to respect authority?
Exactly.
Or anyone.
I think
If you don't respect
I think females don't respect other females because, like you said, it's like the proximity and just being a female. It's like kids don't respect other kids. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Unless the other kid is a bully.
And
So unless the
yeah.
female is the alpha female, the other females are not going to really respect her, and it's the same with the men.
Because they bred to respect dominance. We
Exactly.
bred to respect toxic dominance.
Yeah.
Like it's healthy dominance and it's toxic. Like think about it as a kid. The first thing females watch as a kid is what? Cinderella.
Yeah.
The first thing Cinderella taught you was what? Your family is gonna treat you like shit.
And a nigga
That's the first thing they taught.
and
That's
they
like
say-
the nigga's supposed to come save you.
Yeah.
It didn't teach you.
That's all the Disney.
Not
all of them. I was just about to go down. Little Mermaid.
Not all of them, because the only one we got, the Tiana, the black princess, she had to have a business plan, and her nigga was broke.
Right.
See?
I mean, that ain't all. It's
Right.
not all the same.
Listen, it teach. We being taught, toxicity from the same gender, from a young age. If you look at goddamn, Lion King just came out, but forget the new Lion King. I used to love the old Lion King.
No.
The first thing Lion King told me is that my uncle gonna kill my dad.
Right.
And he want my throne.
Lion
And he
King
want
is
my
a real
throne. That your family want
Real
your spot.
love.
Scar was niggas act like Scar was a stranger.
No.
That was your uncle. He was supposed to be with your dad to make. So it's like every.
And who 9 times out of 10 be sleeping with your man? Your
Your
home
home
girl.
See?
Or your
Home-
homeboy.
yeah, or your home
And with the
girl.
niggas that know your schedule.
Right.
Yeah. And
That's
then
serious.
And then not to mention Lifetime. Y'all love like
Lifetime
females
movies.
love putting that toxicity in their head from Lifetime.
The nanny.
And niggas love
the
being.
nanny be sleeping with the husband.
It's-
the,
come on.
the
And then it's
sister.
like rap music, right? Because we love rap
I was gonna
music.
say, man, music too.
But
now.
music infuse toxicity so much that niggas create an imaginary nigga to have beef with.
Right.
Like you ain't even nigga be on the track, you got a
Mad.
fantasy nigga.
Yeah.
Like I pull up on that nigga with that mask. That nigga be, like wait a minute,
Just upset.
who is that nigga? So they're like, who is that nigga? Like nigga, my chain cost okay, who is the nigga you talking about?
That's-
Even females like tell a bitch, nigga, and I want a bitch, take a bitch, bitches can't.
Right.
Like, okay, I agree, but who is bitches?
Right.
Right.
So it's just like we teaching each other to be competitive.
We
You
are.
feel what I'm saying? It's like why we don't. It's corny as it sound. Why we don't make music like see my nigga lose his job and I hired him.
We do have
You know
music
what I'm
like that. It's
But
just
they
not
don't-
on the
it's
bigger
not
platform.
popular.
But if
yes.
my thing is, nobody has more power than those who make the demands.
Very true.
Even when people say the government feed us bullshit, you know why they feed you bullshit? Because you ask for bullshit. If everybody started saying, we ain't buying that, we want healthy food.
Period.
You know how Minnesota would be the #1 healthiest motherfucker. They reputation will flip overnight.
Yeah.
So it's just like, when it comes to the music and the shit that's on TV, How long you gonna keep acting like this person? It's like a crackhead can't say, well, he just keep giving me crack. Like, nigga, you're going to ask for crack.
That's perfect for interjecting to this because Cardi B just said this because you know the bullshit that Jermaine Dupri was talking about with the music and everyone was outraged. Well, Cardi B was like, yeah, I talk about my pussy, I talk about this.
But that's what y'all want.
That's what you guys want to hear. There are other artists who are lyricists that are talented that are talking about real life shit, but we don't acknowledge them because that's not what the masses want to hear.
Yeah.
Right.
So when do we take accountability that we're the problem in all the situations of when we pick and choose our friendships?
When we do what I suggest, I think a black person named Raekwon or Jaquan Hitler needs to come and put 90% of these niggas in the oven. That's what I suggest. Because listen, you're not gonna find these niggas. I'll do it. I will take the job. I'm telling you, if I get a government phone call one day that say, nigga, we gonna turn a blind eye for 30 days. Nigga, what? We gonna get this shit together. Like I'm not asking you to do good.
Well, they were doing that in New Orleans with Katrina was shooting everybody.
Yeah, man, listen. It's gonna take a nigga that's gonna come and be like, listen, niggas, I'm not asking y'all to get it together no more. We had damn near 2,000 years. We done been through Arab slave trade, Portuguese slave trade, British, European slave trade, segregation, civil rights. Today, police brutality. More goddamn black men been murdered by police underneath Obama presidency than any other president. How much more time do you think I have to wait for you to get it together? What traumatic experience have you been through yet that has not influenced you enough to get it together? Right. So at this point in time, you are a zombie. You have turned, and it's time to bust your head. What? I'm not about to. When you get bit by a zombie,
drifters. Yeah,
it ain't no more. You turning. So now I gotta bust. Yeah, so I think somebody need to come and just be like, listen, y'all.
Sir, no.
Okay, so to wrap this up, I have just a quick question. Do you feel? I mean, I personally think that there's nothing wrong with being friends with the opposite sex. It's very healthy. You have a lot that you can learn from one another. I also do believe that sisterhood is still important. What tips do you guys have for brothers to get their shit together so that they can have healthy bonds and relationships, or even be
work, man.
Okay, yeah.
Self-work.
Yeah.
My whole everything I'm about, man. Even what I plan on being as an artist. Like I want to be that guy you're talking about.
But you want to stop?
Put on a more like just straight consciousness, man. I think if someone took on a Malcolm X level role, but his whole vernacular was about mind, body and soul, man, feeding yourself the right things, eating right. If there was someone that was really teaching us how to use our minds, giving us the right literature, that's what I'm saying. I think it's up to us, those of us that do have this knowledge, to really just, I don't know, man, force feed it to these niggas until they wake up and not worry about the ones that don't.
That's what I'm saying.
Artists like that. It's just they're not as mainstream.
Right.
But now some of them are crossing.
That's what I meant by like,
because we have like.
So it starts with you guys.
Yeah.
And I think
we need more of you. We need more of you to talk to your bros.
Scream at they
and
ass.
not to do it like the 5%ers do it, to where we belittle you with our knowledge. But man, I'm so about like if I could start men like seminars, like how Oprah does for women, but it's just for not just for us, but men. Like I think I heard you saying at one point that there are so much for women. When it comes to self-help, relationships, and I myself personally, as an author, have tried to find that book for young, like just not even young, but black men. But that doesn't talk down to them.
You know what though? Right. A lot of us just have to get off our own bullshit.
Yeah.
And you gotta start fucking with real ones.
And we gotta not be afraid to say, nigga, I don't know how to love you, but that don't mean that it's not gonna come.
Right.
Because that's the point I was making earlier. Like when I said, what did the first person ever who needed, certain advice or a certain item do? They concocted it. Yeah. So it's like we talk about the power of manifestation every day and creation, and then when we need something, we look for it to create itself instead of saying I can create it. So it's like for example, I didn't have my dad, but I'm a great dad. Yeah. That's proof right there that being a dad is not something you have to technically be taught.
Yeah,
it's right there. So it's like I don't have to learn how to be information and virtue and morals is in different brackets. I don't have to be informed to have virtue and be moral. I mean, and have moral. So it's like I think society needs to focus more on morality and virtue versus details. You know what I'm saying? Arguing over details. So I think as far as black men, what we need to do is we need to be able to say, nigga, we don't know. And we act like we've been knowing, and nigga, we don't. And take that shit off. You look stupid. So let's just start over. Beef. And one more thing we need to learn how to do is accept different perceptions of a black man.
Very true.
Like black men
and lifestyles.
Yeah, exactly. Black men, it's like if you're not a gangster or you're not tough, that's not nobody jacking it. But it's like why can't
singer?
Yeah, but it's like why Marcel can't come in the room? I come in the room. You come in the room. A nigga that's a skateboarder come in the room, a nerd come in the room, and we got one thing in common. How can we make the world a better place today?
Yeah.
Why is it like, oh nigga, you're not banging, you can't come in
What
the
were
room?
the trolls saying? Oh, he's too soft, he's too swole to be this soft, or something like that. I think that's one of your friends said that one time.
Mida.
Yeah,
A lot of
it's like,
stuff they said.
yeah.
All
It's just
kinds.
things like that. But also to interject on that, we also have to check our fucking egos.
Yeah.
Egos need to be left at the door.
Yeah.
Because that's the number one drive of killing bonds between men, especially.
Oh yeah.
Right.
Because that's how my first business felt.
Oh yeah.
It was ego.
Yeah.
Yep, and we don't have principle. Like I said something one time, like a lot of people want to be a general, they want to be a leader, but they don't have, because in order to have virtue and morality, you have to have a stone cold level of emotion. Because you can't pick and choose who that apply to.
Right.
So what I was saying is like for example, if I had like a lot of people talk stuff about the KKK or talk stuff about white people, right? So I created a scenario. If you was a king and you had an all black military and it was a white village over there and it was the KKK, they had an all KKK military, right? And a black man went over there and raped a white kid, what would you do? Now if you say something to me like, well they raped us, chop your head off, because I don't play that.
Yeah.
So my thing is, I will feed you to their ass.
Period.
I would call over there and be like, listen, I know we beefing, but be at the woods at 3 o'clock. We gonna be there.
What?
We gonna be there. I'm gonna send that nigga because we don't play that. So my thing
What
is,
culture is that?
Gotta keep it
They
even.
do that actually. Like it's, I think it's like in India. Like if a woman's raped, they go to the man's house
and get you.
Oh, and
yeah.
Definitely not
Yeah.
India.
Yeah, so-
because India.
Or no, it's like somewhere over there.
No, it's somewhere on the eastern eastern hemisphere. But the point I'm making with this is we don't got morality or virtue like that. We don't got it to where it's like, nigga, no matter what's going on, this is absolute. Like this is universal. So the point I'm trying to make is we too soft. Like a lot of kids is bad as hell because their parents are too soft to say sit your ass down.
Yeah.
Like or
Just
your
give
kid.
an iPod.
Yeah, or your kid could go bust the neighbor's windows and the neighbors ain't even, put their hands on the neighbors, can't even say, I'll beat your ass. Because instead of you saying, why would you do that? The first thing you saying is, don't you ever raise your voice at my mother again. So we defend wickedness because we know the wicked person, and all that does is breed comfortability within them to be wicked amongst people they know.
Period.
So if we gonna really learn how to be friends, we gotta learn, like you said, keep it real. It could be love, or it could be humble hand or iron fist, whichever apply. So it's gonna get to the point for it to be like, yo, we gotta heal ourselves, dog. Like stuff like I brought this point up too. My girl could cheat on me and that's not cool, but my sister could be cheating on her nigga and I'd be like, yeah, sis. You know what I'm saying? My nigga could be cheating on his girl and I'm like, oh hell yeah, bro. See if she got a friend. But I don't want my girl cheating on me. So it's like, well, damn. Is cheating wrong or is it only wrong when you don't know the person?
Right.
So this is why friendships is hard. Because it's like, well, if I'm your friend, is I'm gonna tell you, nah, bro, that's not a good idea. Or is it only not a good idea if I don't know you?
Right.
So it's like it's a whole 3
Accountability.
Yeah,
it's a whole 360 that gotta get done.
So what do we
friendship.
do?
Me and my best
Accountability.
friends, that's it.
You personally have to be accountable. You have to be responsible with the advice you're giving. Stop telling people what you think they want to hear,
Period.
and tell them what is imperative for their growth as a human and what's going to raise the vibration of the planet.
Yeah.
And also I just wanted to speak on women really quickly. We need to stop being jealous. We need to stop pitting ourselves against one another, and we need to stop allowing society and men to pit us against one another, because we are very powerful and we do have a lot that we can offer one another. We need to get up off of our shit and stop being lazy and stop expecting somebody or thinking people owe us shit, because don't nobody owe us shit.
Okay.
And we need to stop encouraging each other to do fuck shit and being like, yes, bitch, that's like, no, all that shit needs to go out the window. We need to start encouraging each other to elevate higher and be the queens and goddesses that we are.
Quick question for what you said, right? We all making great points, right? Now I always seem like the crazy one for saying this, but I have to say this. Do you think any of that is possible if it's not some type of body to apply force? Because everything you just said is cool, but what happens when females be like, ah, bitch, get out of here, I don't mind wearing that shit.
I was gonna say that.
So what? So how do we? I'm not saying like get on some mobster shit, but how do you enforce morality and virtue if you don't apply force?
Honestly, there is nothing to apply force to. The problem is other people's moralities and virtues are different. So the problem with that is applying force is someone may think that. I mean, that's why religion is so fucked, because people think that if I have this outfit on, like back in the old days, I could have been stoned.
Yeah.
And that doesn't mean that I'm immoral, and so I deserve to be stoned.
So
for
if the
that.
government went away right now, right? If the government went away right now, no government, bucket, free for all.
Boom.
Yeah.
And somebody said, KAYCOLA, you the best thinker, you the leader, we gonna do what you want. And
I
then
don't
you
even know
said,
if I can
right,
handle that.
see, that's the point. I could. I'm the leader.
I was gonna
Go. Wait a minute. I've had a secret list this whole time. Go get nigga that. Bring them. Yeah.
I don't know if I can handle that, because who's to say that I know every fucking thing that is right?
Nah, but when people come to you with a complaint, like this, what I mean by you gotta have, like, you know how you make pain go away?
Yeah.
You ice it. You gotta have an ice heart, baby.
Perfect.
What happens when somebody say, KAYCOLA, it's a group of teenagers over here, but they raping motherfuckers, but they 13. But they 13.
Cut it off.
What's cut it off?
Dead.
No, they got guns and they willing to kill.
Oh.
Then we need to kill them.
Can you sleep with yourself at night?
No, absolutely not.
I could.
I could not.
How old is they? Okay, bring them front and center in front of everybody. We don't play that.
Oh
This is-
no, I mean, yeah, absolutely. If we kill them, yeah.
That's what I'm
absolutely,
saying.
I
But
would.
this is what I mean by the world is so toxic. Do you understand what it would really take to
Absolutely.
make this shit a better place?
Absolutely.
Like if you was the leader.
As a whole.
As
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. A
Yeah.
whole like
As a whole.
sex trafficking,
Oh my
like
God.
shit that's really going on. Like
Yeah.
fuck, I'm talking about like sex trafficking,
Yeah.
fucking them kids in Africa, 12 years old with choppers. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
it's a whole armies of 12-year-olds.
I know that on a macro level, this is like it's gonna take way more intense things than these little tips that we're giving. But I'm gonna say on a micro level, just from even the DMs that I've gotten, people are actually who watch this are actually conducting themselves differently in their relationships, just from the advice that we give.
That's why I come
And that's where it starts.
I have
I think.
somebody who's getting married next year who told me that their relationship, her and her man watch the show and it helps them deal with each other better. And so, yeah, so I'm like, I get that not everyone is going to watch this and change, but there are a few people who will, and that's where it starts.
That's where it starts, yeah.
You know,
So-
I think, did we touch on this one? We have to know when it's time to walk away from friendships too. Because
Oh, yeah.
sometimes we literally always forget that because you feel like you've grown up with this person or you've been through so much with this person.
Yeah.
And
You
I have
gotta
to,
What if you got a friend that'll kill you?
okay, so
I'm being
No, but
serious because
Yeah.
people kill their friends. Like some people feel like
So-
you gonna be successful without me. Poison, guns.
So-
Like a lot of men that die in the ghetto, they don't be just dying over like good. Like they be dying over like, nigga, what you mean you going to college and you just hanging around us every day, making me feel bad. Like nigga, I'm gonna start an argument with you on purpose and bust you.
you can't, but you can't live your life in fear of like walking away from something that's not beneficial or good for you, or the
That's
time
right.
is over.
Yeah.
Because I always remember people. You meet people for two reasons: a reason and a season. And we always forget that, and sometimes we confuse the.
We do, but I believe we also need to start avoiding. We can't keep going through the same shit.
We can't.
That's
But
right.
you,
Everything doesn't have to be a goddamn lesson. I'm so fucking tired of tests and lessons and having to.
Right.
You're
Oh,
so
yeah.
strong. Like I'm
Oh,
so
yeah.
tired of being
It's the
strong.
truth,
Like
though.
like you said. And the other thing is like our thing is getting depleted. We're running out of lives here. So no, like we do need to start looking at the signs. And yes, everything is a test and a lesson. It'll make us better. And adversity breeds like.
Fuck the test. I skip
I'm
class all the time.
done. Like
I
yes,
used to
like
skip
no,
class. I skipped
I
it.
don't want no
Yeah.
more tests. So now it's like, okay, we've accumulated this knowledge. Let's share it. Let's talk about it. Let's formulate a plan together, and that's what we're doing. Like, no more of this. Oh, I'm just gonna risk it with you and see if it fucking works out. Like,
Right.
no, we're done with that. We're not being reckless anymore.
Calculated risk now.
So
Yeah, that's why. I mean, I don't know if y'all at home believe in extraterrestrials, but as 2019, you should know that they exist. You know, I'm not really asking to believe anymore.
Yeah.
But the point I'm trying to make is a lot of people say, "Well, if aliens is real, why they don't just come down here?" And it's like because it's your fucking job. And what you just said is exactly in correlation. It's like nobody about to be putting a best effort into you and you not doing that. You know what I'm saying? So it's like you said, nobody about to be taking risks. Nobody about to be going above and beyond, and you are ignoring your own evolution. You know what I'm saying? Even when we talk about friends, the first person we should be a friend with is the planet. Now I know that sounds corny.
No,
but
man.
yeah, it's like even your body, right? Your body is like a rental car. It's like your soul is you and your body is your car, and planet Earth is the rental car place. So this is why when you die, your body biodegrades and goes back into the Earth, aka you return your rental car and you go back to the solar system. That's where you got your soul from. Now the point I'm trying to make with that is, humans have become the biggest threats to our own self and our planet due to ignorance. So like, how are we looking for a friend, or we looking for an individual to fulfill us, and we're not even paying homage or fulfilling that
To
which
Mother
gives us.
Earth.
We don't even say thank you
Right.
to trees
Right.
that give us the oxygen to
Oxygen.
even say I want a friend.
Right.
So it's like we skip all levels of appreciation. We skip all levels of primary love that we should be showing, and then we go above and beyond looking for something that we don't even do.
So what happens when you're the toxic person and you needed to break from you're the one that's the cancer in everything,
and you realize
Get
you're
your
toxic.
shit together.
If you realize you're toxic, two ways you go. You get better or you get eviler.
Yeah.
There's two types of people. Some people say because you can fall in love with wickedness.
Yeah.
Like I'm not gonna lie, I fell in love with confrontation. Like I used to like beefing with niggas. I thought that was fun. Like I used to like the adrenaline rush. I used to like when niggas say, "Oh, that's that nigga right there." Like I used to like that shit. And then my spirit got to the point where it was like, "Nigga, is you retarded? Like what's wrong with you?"
Yeah.
So you could fall in love with toxicity. Like it go like. People associate love with good all the time, but love is like, I'm pretty sure Jeffrey Dahmer loved eating motherfuckers.
Yeah,
Like, you know what I mean? Yeah, like it was a love, it was a hobby. You know what I'm saying? So you can love evil. So I think we need to teach. Like I think school should be different. Like if I could control the school system, grades, pre-K through first grade would be like planet appreciation. Like, this is the importance of a tree, the real importance of a tree. Like this, it reconverts your energy, it gives you electron. Like, you know what I'm saying? When you walk outside, if somebody just really, instead of just saying this is a tree and birds live in it, if somebody really taught you like trees are conscious, they roots go for hundreds of miles. Like you got trees that communicate with other trees in the state. Like you said, if you really knew that this shit was alive and vibrant, it'd hit you. Like I can't really explain it, but when I throw something on the ground, I be so quick to pick it up, even if I drop it. My soul be like,
I look at it as karma. I'm like, oh my god, I'm so sorry.
Oh my,
exactly. I'm sorry. Let me pick it up.
Exactly. Yeah. So it's like if we just knew, and that's because I know what I'm doing.
And I
versus it's just a trait.
I'm so sorry.
Yeah. So that's what I think. I think the whole education system should be reconstructed to teach oneness. Know what I'm saying?
So our next goal will be to open up a school.
Secret schools. Definitely.
If they jack the curriculum, I'm about to say because it definitely have to be a secret school.
We will be opening up secret schools.
For sure.
I want to let you close out with any of your final thoughts, and then I want you to give your social media handles.
Final thoughts. Always makes me think of Jared Springer.
Right?
Oh Lord.
And now with our final thoughts.
But I don't know. I guess for me, I really appreciate being able to talk about all this too. Our topic about being friends is huge for me because I love, like I said, I love meeting people, but I definitely think that you have to truly know yourself.
Very true.
First. I think along with the planet appreciation, we have to start teaching people how to go within. And and people just say that. It's become, now that even spirituality has become a
trending.
social media thing.
Oh my God.
People say look inside yourself, but
it's
more than meditation, man. It's more than just reading. It's more than hugging trees and getting crystals or whatever it is, man. You really have to take that time to reflect and really look at yourself in the mirror. If you can look at yourself in the mirror and say, I'm doing all that I can to be the best version of myself, you'll naturally attract the people that are supposed to be in your life.
That is very true.
And I myself personally apply that every day because I've lost so many people due to my own toxicity.
Yeah.
Like you said, and like you said too, when I finally took a step back and looked at myself, like, man, you've been fucking up.
Yeah.
You've been fucking people's
Good for
lives
you.
up.
Yeah, absolutely.
That if you get to that level and
Yeah.
you still don't change,
You gotta go.
You need to submit your
You need to go
application
to
to
the
Hitler.
Hitler.
Submit your application to Hitler.
You're going to the oven.
Yeah, like submit your application to Satan because he's hiring. Like.
So what are your
You wanna,
socials?
yeah, you want to share?
I'm Brian McKnight Jr. everywhere.
That's why you got that smooth voice.
Brian McKnight Jr.
It's been smooth all the time.
Can you just do the one from real quick?
Music. But no, yeah, I appreciate y'all, man. This was so much
Thank you for
fun.
coming.
Thank you
Yeah,
so
it's
much
great.
for coming, and we love you.
We hope you heal.
Pigs.